Captain's Log. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you. You made it to Friday. Now, today's episode, they don't normally run too long, but I've decided to time this episode efficiently. Some sirens going while I was talking. I don't think we picked up on the mic, but it distracted me. Anywho, I'm cooking my pizza in the oven as, well, not we speak, but I speak. I'm looking at a timer going for 18 minutes and 45 seconds right now. But hey, these are normally like 17 minutes. Just letting you know that if I suddenly am like, oh, we're out of time, because we've never had a time limit before. It's mainly just whenever I run out of things to talk about. Now, before we get to proceedings, my week. It was alright. Long, I have to say. Especially today. There was not much happened this week, truth be told. However, I did have an interview on Wednesday. I spoke about that last week. That went decently well. I've not heard back from them, though. It's an awkward situation. Like, the interview went well, I know that. And the guy doing it, there's a lot of turnover, apparently, at that shop. So, I know at least I have a good chance of being hired. However, like, we were discussing possible, like, alright, when can you start things? And I was like, alright, Monday? Like, that's not gonna work because the schedule's already been laid out. So he's like, alright, what about, like, Monday in February? What's that? And I was like, I don't know. I think that's the 2nd or something. It's not important right now. Anyway, that's, like, next Monday. Free-ish days. I've not heard a call back. I don't know if that means I should show up. I don't know if that would ruin my chances if I did show up, but I don't know if I have, like, passed the interview and have the job, and then he's gonna be like, well, what the hell, why didn't you just show up? I was like, I didn't know I had the job. So that's something I'm going to have to worry about. I don't know. Calling them, I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh well, something else to work out. But that was Wednesday. Now, nothing meaningful happened Thursday, but Friday, I woke up at 3 in the morning on Friday, today, because there was construction outside my window. But I had, like... Have you ever woken up really early? And... like, you've slept enough that you're not really tired enough to go back to sleep, so you're just kind of stuck at, like, 2 a.m., unable to go back to bed. So you just gotta kind of keep yourself entertained for a couple of hours, but quietly. That happened to me. And I had a bunch of, well, 2 classes I had to go to. And I had to, like, stop myself from going to sleep in between them and during the latter one. But I did. Decently, and I just... I'm keeping myself awake now. And I mentioned that, for anyone curious, not curious, but like, anyone very astutely checking my updating Captain's Log. I'm not talking about that series in a while, but the thumbnail on DeviantArt, then the description, I've got a list of grievances, and I've added, like, waking up at, like, 3 or 4 in the morning, but you can't do anything about it, you're not tired. I added that. I've got a very specific, like, I'm not sure if I'll ever give any topic there its own Captain's Log. I've certainly given topics that I've never thought I'd be angry about Captain's Logs. I've got 2 already recorded, I just need to animate them. Have I ever talked about why Captain Log is animated? I don't believe I have. It's also, like, It's not just a radio, it's 1920s radio. It's rather specific, like, vibe I went for that. With, like, the producer, Victor, not caring at all about what he's doing. The general idea for it, that I was never going to, like, bring into... Like, I never want to be like, are you with me, folks, on this, or whatever? Have, like, Captain... Because the idea was he's an absolutely terrible radio host who is, like, complaining to his producer about mundane things. What he doesn't know his mic is on was the idea. Like, it's a music show. So I thought about having, like, during the song change, he, like, turns his mic on, or it would be him turning it off, but he thinks he's turning it on. He's like, alright, folks, that was blah, blah, blah. Now here's a classic, blah, 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 blah. And he turns his mic on again. No one heard that except the producer. And he starts going on and on about, like, traffic or something. I just find that image hilarious. But I feel like that would ruin, like, the actual Captain's Log. That would take... I mean, that's not to say I don't have some gags in there. However, that's more like explaining... Because that is unedited. The me complaining, that's off the cusp. That's all natural, baby. Like this. So sometimes there's pauses, and in the most recent one, in, like, what's it? I've done GameStop. I think it was, like, not doing laundry. I don't know. Whatever. In the most recent one, there's, like, a 20-second pause. And it was explained by, like, Victor doing a talk in hand to mock Captain and look over. And it was just suspicious. But I've done, and then the other visual gag was during, like, selling stuff to GameStop episode where, like, looked up at him, confused. Also, I guess the puppet. That's, I don't know, that's a, like, shortcut visual gag. That's just not clever as I would like it to be. But whatever. But why I animated? I don't know. It's just, it's fun. But that is weird, because it's a strictly audio format, essentially. Yeah, there's visual gags, but you don't need to look at the screen. But I hate audio format with, like, stuff on the screen. Specifically, I hate those podcasts where they record just, like, them sitting around in the room. I think that's so stupid. Just upload an image, and then talk over that. That's what a podcast is. Why are you... Like, I don't want to see people talking. I think that that's dumb. I think that that's a lot of wasted effort. I think that that is, like, a bloated production budget. And they're like, you know what, we can just record this. Like, you don't have to. Just put an image up. That's stupid. You know what a podcast is? A podcast is played while you are doing something. This right here, what I'm saying to you, is most likely being heard from the perspective of the second monitor while you're, like, grinding in a video game or doing your homework. I mean, I put the boats there and the waves as, like, my own entertainment. My own, like, yeah, this is how it works. Because this is how I envisioned the Captain's Log series is a captain who's been to sea far too long, and then a sailor is walking by his quarters, hearing him muttering to himself. That's how I envision Captain's Log going. And it's like, he's not talking at all about their voyage, he's talking about, man, you know, I hate my roommates. Ooh. This discussion right here, because of an event that happened with my roommates, and me telling Simi about an event for my roommates. This could lead to quite the rabbit hole, and we do not have the time. Like any other night, I would have flown straight into this tangent, pedal to the metal, but I can't tonight because this is like this would add 15 minutes to the whole thing maybe. But I can't do that tonight, which really sucks. I was gonna get into like I'll explain what happened with my roommate. Actually, should I? He might be able to hear me. I sabotaged his jar of like lime crab. Like purposefully, because he dropped my goddamn milk twice. And it like he was pissed about that because it dropped. Alright, I'm gonna mention it. I don't if I'm kind of low about okay, whatever. So, backstory. My roommate sabotaged my milk. And then he did it again. He just dropped it straight on the ground. No subtlety. No refinement, just caveman, drop it on the ground, come to my room, and be like, hey, your milk fell out of the fridge. Just a moron. I hate him. He is as stupid as my hatred of him. Just, I don't know. I try to say neutral and positive on these, but just that troglodyte. Hate him so much. That's besides, well, it's not besides the point. You know, he dropped my milk twice. Both times, same day I bought them, so I felt like he was specifically waiting. Two. Anywho, I decided to get a bit of revenge. So, his excuse for the milk having fallen is because in the fridge door where I keep my milk, that little gate is broken. So, apparently, I mean, I tested it multiple times. Doesn't work, but whatever. I've had to keep my milk at like a 45-degree angle in the shelf, propped up by some pasta sauce, so it doesn't leak. Because I've refused to let him win. I refused to let him drop any more of my milk without him obviously having been sabotaging it. Like, oh, I don't know, the shelf gave out, blah, blah, blah. No, yeah, moron. Anyway, he still, despite this, like, you know, yeah, funny how we all know that my milk fell from the shelf twice, but yet he still keeps his stuff there, almost like he knows it's not dangerous. Anyway, I made it dangerous. So he keeps this stupid lime spice crap, smells awful, in the door. So I have, like, put it on the edge of the door every time I open the fridge. And this time it worked, it paid off. He opened the door, and it dropped. And it's a glass jar, and it fell on his foot and shattered. Oh, if you're new, I'm an incredibly small and vindictive man, so that's why I'm depriving joy from this. Anyway, I won. I'll get into the reaction of Simi with this information. Possibly next week, if I remember. But either way, I won. I did clean up the... But that's only to avoid my suspicion. If I didn't, and if I, like, pointed and laughed at him and declared my victory over him, then it would have been obvious that I sabotaged his lime jar, or whatever. So I wasn't able to do that. But oh well. Victory was mine, and it was quite sweet. I did have to clean up broken glass, but whatever. Then maybe that'll teach him to stop walking around the communal area barefoot, putting his disgusting feet up on the tables. Again, barefoot. Like, I hate this guy so much. Ugh. So I'm gonna stop talking about him. What is there else to talk about? What was I talking about before him? I'd like mentioned, I don't know, my roommates. And I've just flown down this tangent, and I'm specifically not mentioning Simi during this, because that would go down another tangent that I frankly do not have time for. 15 minutes is a decent length episode. I do have to, like, I don't want my pieces burned. I say this is good. I still have some time left I could feasibly talk about, but it's 4 minutes. You know what? Hang on. I did mention I wanted a running topic in this show, and that was animals I could take in a fight. I stopped with horses. Well, I started with horses and then moved on to anything else. I think an owl, I think that's kind of evenly matched. Like, we're both trying to kill each other. I could easily be killed by the owl. It could, like, they don't make noise when they fly. And he would glide, and he could easily just, like, scratch at my throat, claw my eyes out. But, that's as long as I'm, like, reacting to it. As soon as I have reacted to the fact that I am being attacked by an owl, I'm gonna grab it by the head and slam it into a rock. So it's really just kind of a can he finish me before I finish him kind of thing. Because obviously the owl would just stay in a tree. And if I try and climb up to get to the owl, then it would attack me and I'd fall and then hurt myself. And then it could easily like peck at my throat as I'm on the ground bleeding. So I couldn't come to it, and it can only come to me. So I'd obviously be prepared, but I'd have to like frantically look around my environment looking for a pillow of death flying towards me. Maybe I could pick up like a stick and bat it, but I mean, how efficient are owls at dodging? That's kind of like, it is somewhat locked in, isn't it? So it is kind of like it's as soon as I react to the owl kind of lost. But the owl could finish me off in time, but I would die before I retaliate. So that's kind of like an evenly matched. It really just reacts to who does something first. Like, do I spot the owl and I can pick up a twig, bat it in the head, and then finish it off? Or does it, like, scratch at me? Scratch at the back of my head, too. Like, I don't know if that would do much. That would certainly harm me, but I could, like, swing my arm back around, stun it, and then, like, I don't want to get too graphic, but, like, just stomp on the owl. It's a fight to the death. It's gonna be kind of graphic. But, yeah. An owl is like I'd say I'm evenly matched with an owl. I am referring to, like, a barn owl. I don't know. But I don't want to fight an owl. They're cool. I would fight an owl if it's attacking me. Like, if I'm lost in the woods on an open path lit by moonlight, and that's like a vindictive, evil owl, then yeah, I would kill it. But I mean, if it attacks me first, I'd also kill it. I wouldn't attack first, is what I'm saying. But the owl absolutely deserves it. That is absolutely all the time we have left. I just used it. I got a minute on the timer left, so I gotta wrap it up here. Oh well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Stay tuned to Gotham FM.